Alright, it's actually not, don't worry, it's actually not that bad as it looks like.
Hey dudes, welcome back to another video, and in this week's video we're gonna talk about winter in Malta and what to expect when you're coming here in winter. Also, at the end of the video we'll answer one of our weekly subscriber questions.
And this time our question is what we're doing for living here in Malta, so stay tuned for the answers. We actually have gotten this question quite a lot, haven't we?
So we're gonna answer it in the video today, so
stay till the end, please. The first thing that we're going to talk about is weather.
And of course, the first thing that comes in mind is what are the temperatures in winter in Malta? And what's the weather like? So, the daily average temperature in winter months in Malta, starting from December till February, usually is 16 degrees high and about 9 degrees low. What's interesting is that the sea temperatures or the water temperatures are actually pretty much the same. So we have about 15 to 16 degrees on average throughout the winter months.
So you have the same temperature in the air that you have in the water. So if you want to, you can just jump in. You shouldn't feel any difference. Or should you?
Or should you? We will not check, but you can.
We're not gonna jump in. We're not crazy.
No. The next thing that comes in mind is that there is a lot more rain in the winter months. Usually you will get about average 9 days of rain throughout the month.
Every month?
Yeah, and in summer,
nothing.
Nothing. May max 1 day, but this summer we didn't have any rain at all.
We didn't experience any rain.
No.
One great thing about winter in Malta is that you have bus fares going down, which is pretty cool, because in summer the bus fare is €2 per ride for 2 hours, but in winter is only 150. So if you come here in the winter, you can travel cheaper.
And also, for some reason, the buses on winter times are less crowded. I think mostly because there's less tourists, right? And also the locals are not traveling as much to the beaches and to the places because
it's colder, because it's grayer, and because it's more rainy.
Yeah, you get cheaper buses, which are also
less crowded.
Yeah, you'll have a seat on it, which is rare.
That's awesome.
The next thing is quite a bigger section, so we're gonna talk about the winter in Malta. What would you expect if you're gonna come here for traveling?
If you travel here in winter, you might experience cloudier conditions. The skies wouldn't be as blue as in summer, and you might experience some rain, and you might experience that the days are a little bit colder and a little bit gloomier.
Yeah, and on top of that, in the winter period, we have a little bit of less of sunlight throughout the day. So basically, or daylight, so it gets light approximately, I think at 7, 8, so 7 like
7,
that.
8, I guess.
Yeah, and at 7 in the evening, everything will be dark already. So you kind of have a couple hours less to explore and enjoy the country, because in summertime, at 5 in the morning, I would assume it's already light. The sun is almost up, and it's still light until like 8 or 9 or something like that, right?
It's true.
Yeah, something to keep in mind if you're taking pictures, or it's not going to be as pretty as the summertime.
Another thing is that in the mornings and in the night the temperatures go low, and so the temperature in the morning would be lower than in the afternoon. That probably helps you plan out your trip a little bit better, because in the morning you might want to take your jacket with you, but then in the afternoon you might not need it anymore because the temperatures heat up and it's more nice and sunny.
Yeah, so maybe grab a backpack or something to put the jacket in, because you will not need it throughout the day, even though it's winter.
I think that's a great advice, to take a backpack. Even though it's good for your jacket, it's also good for your taking your water with you, or taking anything that you would like to on your way, so you don't have to go running for the shops. Because sometimes when you go out in Malta for hiking, it's not like always at the site you would find a store. So it's not rare here, if you go in the nature for like hiking for the paths around the coastline, that you wouldn't find any stores to pick your lunch up or to even refill your water bottle. So it's a good thing to have it with you.
And on top of that, you kind of also want to maybe pack another jumper or a jacket, because Malta has very similar winter seasons like rest of the Europe, so you're not going to experience anything like I think Africa or Australia, where it's all turned around, that the winters are hot and summers are cold. We have the same thing as rest of the Europe. The winters are colder and the summers are warmer, although the winters obviously here are a bit warmer and nicer than the Eastern or Northern Europe.
It's still the winter season, so be prepared. Take a jumper or two, or take your jacket with you because you're gonna need it.
Yeah.
Also, one good thing to note when coming here in winter, you still might need your sunglasses because it gets really bright at times, and the sun, when it's not cloudy, it's out and it's shining. So if you're driving or if you're even just walking, it might be nice for you to just cover your eyes because the sunlight is really bright here.
Yeah, it's very bright and light here throughout most parts of the year. And when you're packing clothing, most probably leave your bathing suits and swimsuits at home in the winter time, unless you're very brave.
Unless you're staying at the hotel with the access to the pool, because that might be nice for winter.
Because I don't think the 16-degree water temperature is that warm.
Yeah, otherwise you won't be using it in the nature as you would in summer.
Like we did to...
Like we did. Like I did. I packed my swimsuit when coming here in February and was not needed at all.
Did not use it at all.
No.
And because there's more chance of rain, when you're planning with the things that you're going to do around Malta, you might consider planning in more indoor activities, so maybe some museums if you're into that, or shopping.
Even the cafeterias, because you have quite a large selection of what to try in here. There's big indoor selection, like from shopping malls, shopping villages, to all kinds of cinemas, bowling, that kind of thing. You can probably plan more indoor time than outdoor because it might get rainy. And the thing with rain here is once it starts, it just pours down like tropical rain. It doesn't, like if you've been in UK or in Scotland, it doesn't just like pour little bits and pieces, but here it just like, if it rains, it pours down and you will be completely soaked if you don't have any umbrella, which probably you want to take with you.
Yeah, that's a good, another thing, maybe pack an umbrella. You might...
Rain is different in here. Rain is just like coming all down to you and doesn't stop for like a couple of minutes until you're completely soaked, and then you can be all nice and wet
in a cold, windy time.
That is true, because wind also is really strong in the winter here.
Yeah, especially everywhere near the coastline, because that's where you get the most wind.
Yeah, you don't get cover. The last section of our video today is the housing differences in winter rather than summer, and that is for the people who are planning to stay longer here or even moving here in winter.
One of the first things that we want to mention is that the rent is cheaper in winter times. Well, especially if you sign a longer contract, renting and hotels and everything will be cheaper in the winter period.
That makes sense. They are less booked, there's less competition, so you're at the right place at the right time and you can snatch that great deal.
Exactly. However, the electricity, which you're going to use a lot, will become more expensive, but in a sense that you're going to use it a lot more.
Yeah, actually the rate doesn't change, it's only the usage that will add up the extra money.
For example, for us, we spend a lot more electricity in the winter because we're heating the apartment a lot more than in the summertime, just to keep ourselves comfortable. Also, another thing, you need to heat up your water, and because most flats and most apartments are equipped with water boilers, so in the winter time the water boils for a longer time and it gets colder a lot quicker, so you kind of need to use it a lot more than in the summer times. So that's another way your bill will increase.
I think for us, for some winter months, we spend even double on the amount that we would spend in summer for electricity, so that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, we also have the regular oil heater in our room because the air conditioning doesn't really heat up the apartment that well. So
when it heats up, it also kind of destroys the air quality.
Yeah,
because it just like blows the air instead of heating it up from inside. So we prefer our oil heater, so we have more air.
And because these houses do have bigger windows and they're kind of built to keep the cool for a longer period, once you turn off your electric heaters, it gets cold quite...
Yeah, the heat goes out pretty fast. Yeah, they don't have very good heat insulation, so all the heat you have inside will go outside at some point. One important thing to note is when you do your clothes washing in winter, it's gonna take longer to dry, and even it's good for you to keep your house heated, because it's not gonna dry as fast. If it doesn't dry as fast, then it's gonna get stuffy and smelly, and once you think you have dried it up, and once you try to put it in the closet, it might get some mold on it.
Yeah, like it might feel like dry, but it might actually not be. So the first year we moved here, we had to throw out a couple of clothes and even shoes because
after winter they just got bad.
Yeah, because there might be some moisture on it and it just destroys them all. So you kind of try to ventilate your house as much as you can, but also then you lose a lot of heat. So yeah, keep that in mind to keep your clothes as dry as possible, because
also take your washing amount down. Let's say if you do a full wash, try to make it as full as possible and then get it dried, because the thing is, in winter it also gets a lot more, there is a lot more moist. So the humidity will be higher, so if the humidity is higher, it's harder for your clothes to get dry unless you have the electric dryer, which we don't have, so we only do like air dry. So it does take longer, and it does get a bit stuffy, and sometimes even like you have to do the wash again and try to get it out when it doesn't rain, so it just like blows out on the balcony, so you can actually get them dry. But it's something to
in summer times you can put your clothes on the balcony and they'll be dry in an hour, so you kind of get used to that the first day you wash your clothes, you're like, okay, they're ready to go in the closet. But in the winter time, just keep them for drying for a bit longer.
And try to get them outside when it doesn't rain. What we do is we check the weather pattern, and if we see the rain is coming today and it's not coming tomorrow, we might as well wash our clothes tomorrow, so we have them dry.
And the last thing that some people might want to know is the job opportunities throughout the winter period. And actually, what we have experienced is that there's no difference between summer or winter periods. The job opportunities usually are pretty much the same. It mostly depends just on yourself.
Yeah, all the jobs are hiring. It's not like they take like a quiet period and don't hire at all. There's still vacancies. You can still apply. You will be just fine. We have found jobs in winter, and as well we have found jobs in summer. So our recommendation, don't think too much about it. You will get a job.
Yeah, exactly. Concentrate on what you can do and what you can offer, and you should be good. All right, so now these are our tips of what you can expect in the winter in Malta. So now we want to answer the long-awaited question of what do we do for a living in Malta?
All right, do you want to start, or do you want me to start?
Yeah, well, I am a professional YouTuber. Okay, maybe not yet. Well, I work in finance, and I am a payments officer in a finance company, so I deal with all sorts of payment related things in my work day life. Something like that.
All right, and what I do is I always been into retail, and I always liked fashion and clothes and that kind of stuff, and then from early on I have been in the store, and then I've been a sales assistant, then a visual merchandiser, then a store manager. To be honest, any kind of role that there is to do in the store. And after that, when we moved here, I started here as assistant store manager, but then moved up to a store manager in a different shop, and then moved to the office environment, and now I am doing retail buying for sports company, and I'm very happy with doing that. It's really interesting, something that I like to do, and for me right now it works out very well.
Well, since you explained a bit deeper than I have, well, basically, I don't know if many know, but we worked in the same company in the same place. That's how we met. But so I was also in retail. After some period, I started doing not exactly payments, but cash office related stuff. So that kind of, when I moved from that, but I was still in retail, so from that I moved to I started working in a finance company and did more payments and cash related things. I don't have any background in that. except my work experience because I'm supposed to make videos, which we're doing right now.
If I can, I will quickly add what actually is my job, so it's easier to understand. Because before I didn't even know that retail buyers exist, and so in my job, it would be any kind of assortment that you see in the store. If you go to a fashion store, what's on the shop floor, that's basically I am trying to create the selection for each store, what's going to be the product that you will see on the shelves, and so I can do the selection, and then I can purchase the amounts of the items for the store, and then that's hopefully what you can buy from the store after. So that's really exciting and interesting.
Okay, so that's our answer to our weekly question from you subscribers and viewers. So if you want your questions answered, just leave us some questions and we'll answer them in the next videos.
Yeah, we would love to.
Yeah. So I think we're ending the video right here because
we're boiling and it's not winter just yet.
Not just yet. We still have a couple of weeks until winter starts, so it's really hot here. So we're gonna end the video right here, right?
Yeah, we're gonna end it here. And if you like this video, you can share it on your Facebook.
Yeah, you could also leave a like, and if you want us to make more videos like this one, you could subscribe. That would be great, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.